So now we know how to make a master page and preset pages with default settings. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to change that to where you have nothing on the first page, so you can make this your cover page. Now whenever making your cover page, you can use some of the tools that you know already that you learned from Illustrator and Photoshop. A new tool, however, is a rectangular frame tool, and the shortcut for that is F. If you select it, if you click it and drag it over the whole front page from one margin to the other, you can place a picture into this rectangular frame. So you're going to go to File and then Place. A magazine cover is usually a picture of a person, so I'll select this person, Open. And I don't want the whole clone to be in there, so I will show you the difference first between the rectangular frame tool, which is the blue bounding box right here, and then if I select this circle that creates a brown bounding box, I can drag that one outside of the frame tool, outside of the actual frame, so it'll hide the border text that I don't want. And I'll just scoot this over a bit, then drag this up more, and drag this up more, and then I can move this one onto the side so I don't have a skinny little stormtrooper. And so the text surrounding that picture is hidden now. However, your first page is also not going to be so small. It's going to go from about right here to about right here. Basically from one side of the page to the other. So let me go ahead and change this. And I move this one to the side. Beautiful. So I'm going to need a place to put the title of my magazine. Whatever your title is, be considerate of where your person's head is. So if my title of my magazine is going to be up here, I'm going to need to move his head down more. But I don't really want to move his head down too much, because then I'm going to get that text in the way again. So I'm going to change the actual rectangular frame tool, move it down here, about right there. Bring this guy inward just a bit. Now go ahead and get a rectangle tool, and I'll move it from this side to over here. And I'm going to want to color that with black, just like it is back here. Okay. So now I have the frame fold up, I have the front page of my magazine ready to go, I have room for my title up here. I may move this down just a hair more. I notice whenever I change it in here on this page, you can see it over here on this little icon. And you'll see that throughout working on your magazine. Now I'm going to select the type tool, and I'll create title, and I'll make it larger, probably about 25 point, maybe larger than that. Let's go about 30. And I want something that's attractive, so let me select a bold font of this. This one will be the New Tech Journal. Let me go ahead and increase the size to maybe even 50. And then I will center align it so it's smack dab at the middle of that text frame. Bring it up like this. And I'm going to want to change the color of this so it doesn't blend, so it doesn't get lost in the black background. Now in InDesign you have different color settings. You have cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. You also have red and green. Whatever colors you have in here are not the only colors you're limited to. You can click on this little box, this little icon over here, and you can change the spectrums of each. So if I want to add more magenta to this color, it's going to make it a little bit more purple. I want to add more yellow to make it more gray. I could add less red. Okay, so let's make it a pink color. And then I'll move this back in, grab my selection tool, and then place it over here. Now if you notice what I did, I accidentally made the stroke color the pink color. So that's okay, I can fix that. I think it kind of fits with the theme, which is kind of like a very techie magazine. So I'll keep it. You'll be able to tell whenever your text is center aligned by guides. So here you have a guide telling you that you're right at the top of the page, and then you'll have a guide when I move it left and right telling you when you've hit the center. Now since I've already center aligned this text to the text box, it's going to make the text box center aligned. If your text was all the way to the left side, it'll still make the box center aligned, but your text will not be center aligned. So it's very important that you have your text aligned to the center. Now if you don't want to see all of these lines, if they get in your way or make you anxious, don't freak out. You can go to View and go to Overprint View, and then when you click out of it, you can get rid of those lines. Now you can have a bunch of subheadings on your front page, and it can be something like go bold with this one. Put a text box about this big. And then we'll move this one in here. Now go ahead and change the color of the text to white, just for ease. Okay, and then you'll go through along the side just like you've seen it in normal magazines and add different teasers, different subheadings. And since this is right next to the Stormtrooper, it looks kind of like it's in its way. So I'll go ahead and right align this. You can make another text box. Actually, underneath this box, let me add something. I'll add a page number, page, Something else you'll want to remember is to put the volume number as well as the date. So we'll start out with the date here, which is April. Let's do this in white. April 2016. And then hold down Option. We're just going to click and drag this, move it outward, and then title it Volume 1, Issue 1. If you want to use your guides to format everything as far as the title sequence goes, then go for it. I'm going to put my guide right there. Actually, let me move it upward just a bit, or downward. At the very bottom of the J, and then that is where I'll put these text boxes. Alright, so this is how you set up your front page. The next thing we're going to talk about is setting up your actual pages in your magazine.